Hello guys, welcome to Netmaster Zone channel, and welcome back to another video from Remote Access VPN. In the previous video, if you remember, we just installed our ISE server and then add the ISE server to our domain controller. And here you can see that the ISE server is available here as object in our Active Directory. In this video, we are going to add the ASA to the ISE server, and also try to make some AAA authentication group to send our authentication to the ISE server. Here let's start with the ASA. In the ASA, to add that to the ISE server, first we need to have some configuration inside the ASA. For that, let's go to the configuration and then to the AAA server group, and let's create a server group here. I name it ISE1. And inside this server group, we can add many different servers. Here in this video, we only have one ISE server, but in the real environment, of course, it's two because of need of the redundancy. And here let's add the IP address of the our ISE server, 10.10.2.25. And also we don't have anything else here. Yes, we have here in the we need to assign a key here when we try to add this ASA to the ISE. The ISE will ask this key to be able to access the ASA and add that to its device list. Okay, let's apply this, send it, and now let's go to the ISE server and add this ASA to the ISE server. For that, I'm going to network devices, and in the network device, let's add. Here, let's give a name. I'm going to use the host name of the ASA here, because next time it will be very easy for me to identify that which device is this. And also let's add the IP address of the ASA, 10.10.1.2. This is the inside IP address of the ASA. The device profile, of course, the Cisco, and the device model, it's a ASAV. Actually, it's not mandatory to write all this information, but of course it will help us to identify this device with the filter if in the future we need to find them and do some maybe update or something on that. And the software version is 9.18. And the location, we can create many location here, and it's depend to our size of the network. Maybe we have many branches in many different cities and countries, and then we can create a different location for that. Now I only have one location here I created before, and I'm going to add this to this location. For creating that, you can just click on this and create a new group, or any you can just create it here. And then this is the IPsec, of course, yes or no, it's IPsec device. And device type here also, you can see that I just created many different device type here. It is very good to create this device type because in the future, when we are going to create some policy set, I'm going to use this device type as to select the device actually. And for that also you can create, just click here and you can give a name for the device. Now I have that, and it's ASAV. And in the Red server, let's just enter the secret key, that is Cisco, that I created before inside the ASA. Let's submit this. Okay, the device now is added to the ISE server, and now we will be able to actually use the ISE server to manage our ASA here. Okay, now let's go back to our ASA, and here let's change our connection profile. if you remember in the previous previous couple of videos, that we create this corp connection profile, and if I did that, you can see here that it's using the authentication method EE, and authentication server group is local. Now I'm just going to change that to ISE that I just created before, and if you click on manage, you can see that I have only one ISE here, and here also if we add another one, we can just type the IP address, and also we can give some secret key and so on. Okay, let's select this one and save it. Okay, now our ASA, any request when comes to the ASA here, you can see that the user now can connect to the ASA. If we just try to connect to the ASA doesn't use its local database for authentication. Is send that request to the ISE server and request the information about the authentication, the username and password from the ISE server. For it, as I said, let me show you here in the Active Directory. Here in Active Directory, I just created some groups and some user, the same user that we add in the local database of the ASA, and also there is some groups. And you can see in the finance, we have Bob as a finance, HR, we have Jake as a HR, and IT, of course, the Sarah was the IT guy in the department. Okay, now let's go back to the ISE server, and this time let's go to the administration, and here let's go to external identity sources. In the external identity sources, you can see that we have AD here. In the previous video, I just create this, and by using this, I join the ISE server to the Active Directory. And now if I go to the groups, here I can bring the groups from the Active Directory to the local database of the ISE server. For that, let's click on add and select the groups from Active Directory. Here the star and a star, it means that all the groups, and here in the domain we can select, if we have more than one domain, we can select that and retrieve the groups. Okay, now you can see all the groups that is comes here. Most of them are the groups, default groups of the Active Directory, and we don't need them. But here I need the finance, the HR, and the IT groups. Let's select them and OK, and save that. Okay, now these groups just added inside the ISE server, and every time when you need to bring a group here, you need to just add and select that group from the Active Directory, because every day many groups created in the Active Directory, but they are not coming here by default, and of course it may not be need to come here. Just that groups that required, we can add them here in the ISE server, and then in the I will show you in this lab to how to use these groups for authentication. Okay, now it's added here, and in the next step, let's go to the policy and let's go to the policy set. Here in the policy set, you can see by default the ISE server as a one default policy set, and if I try to connect now to the corporate network using this client here, I think this one, yes. If I try to connect now, this time, because I don't have any group policy, just there is one default group policy, you can see that the connection will be successful, and we will be connected to the corporate network, but we will have all full access to the corporate network. And if you want to check this, let's go to the operation, and then let's go to the lib logs. I just open that in the new tab. Here you can see the all logs that happened during the connection. It's if someone connect here, you can see the log, and also it's a very good tool for troubleshooting. Of course, if someone not connected or doesn't have correct access, then we can check it here. What is the problem? Here you can see that the Jake is connected, and it's connected to the authentication policy default and authorization policy also default, and permit access. And where is that? That is the default policy set, the default access. And also if we go to the authorization policy, you can see at the end there is a basic authentication access, and this is the permit access. It just matching this one, and you can see also the hit count here, and it means that one time this policy is hit, and it's gives the access to our user. Now the user has a full access here, and if I just try to ping, let's go to the CMD, and here in the CMD let's ping 10.10. for example 1.1, and you can see here that I have access to VLAN 1. And also if I try to ping 10.25 and you can see that I can ping the ISE server. It means that I have full access to everything inside the corporate network. But we don't need this. We don't want this. Actually, we want to filter the user. For that, let's go and create another policy set and try to configure an access list, and then by using that access list, we can give required access to our user. Let's get back to the policy set, and here let's create a new one. I'm going to name that remote access, and in the remote access, let's we need to give some condition to this. Okay, and let me show you here. And okay, we name that the remote access, and here we can give the default access. But here we need to have some condition for this, and that condition, it's actually it's the general condition. It means when someone try to access which device. Here I'm going to use that, and I'm going to the network devices, and here in the device type, if you remember, we create this device type before, and now I'm just using this filter to, for example, match this device ASV. Of course, we have some other condition here, for example, device type, software version, and with any of this you can filter the device here. But I'm going to use here the device type, and the device type is ASE. Let's use this ASV, and now we are going to give some condition to this. If someone access this device, then what? Then okay, we need to save this first. Okay, now if someone knocked the door in the ASV, then what it should be happened? Let's go and see. Here you can see many different authorization policy that by default it has, and that one that we need here, it's the authorization policy. In the authorization policy, of course, in the authentication policy, we can have the different type of authentication. For example, we can make a authentication here to if the user is the internal user, it's the external user, it's a guest, or it's joined to the domain or not, and so on. We can match this condition here. But here we are going to use the authorization policy. In the authorization policy, you can see we have one default authorization policy, and that is the deny access. And for now, if I just save this and try to access the corporate network using this machine here, let's try that. Let's disconnect it. Every time when you change something inside the ISE, you need to disconnect and reconnect it back, because the policy is going to be downloaded inside the client. Okay, now I'm trying to connect, and this time let's type the password, and you can see that the login failed. And if I go to this and refresh the log, you can see that the Jake is just try to access. And where is the access? It's access the authorization policy, remote access, that we create, and the default action for that is deny access. Here that is the default, and this is the deny access. Now we need to create another one, and then according that we can give the suitable access for him. For that, to create this, let's first we need to create a access list, and I just open that in another tab. Where we go, just go to the policy and to the result. If we go to the result, we'll come in this page, and here we can select the downloadable access list. Let's wait for that. Okay, now I'm in the policy element, and here in the result you can see here we have authorization. And in the authorization, we have two options here: the authorization profile and the downloadable access list. What is a downloadable access list? Actually, it's an access list, simple access list, but every time when a user try to connect, this access list will be downloaded to the remote access client here in this AnyConnect, and according that access list, the user will receive the access to its area of access. And here let's add, and we need to give a name. For first one, I'm going to create a downloadable access list for IT. Let's name it ACL IT. And here in the ACL IT, let's create the type the access list. Here you can see the syntax, that actually how you should write your access list, and also you can check the ACL syntax here if it's correct or not. I'm going to use here permit IP any to network 10.10.0.0 with 255.255.0.0. This is all IP address, the all range of IP address of the inside our corporate network, and I just give a IP means everything, all ports, everything to this, and that's it. Let's save this, submit this. Okay, it says it's not correct. Let's check what is the problem. Okay, permit, I just type it. The good thing is here that you can check it. Okay, this time is the access is valid, and we can use that. Let's submit this. Okay, now this downloadable access list ACL. I just typed the name incorrect. Let's edit that. It should be ACL. Save. Okay, next, in the next step, we need to create the authorization profile. Actually, we are going to bind this access list to this authorization profile, and then bind this authorization profile to our policy set here. Let's go and create a authorization profile. Let's add it, and let's name it authorization IT, and we can have a description or something. This is access accept and downloadable access list, that is ACL IT. You can open it here, and you can find the access list here, and also you can search your access list here if it's if you have a lot of access list. Then okay, now everything is okay. Let's save this. Okay, this two is created. Now let's get back to our policy set, and now we are in the remote access policy set that we are created, and we are in the authorization policy. As I said, we only have one, and that is default, and it's just deny everything. Let's add another one and name it policy set IT. And this policy set IT, let's match some condition on this. What condition? If the user is in the Active Directory, okay, external group, and it's in the IT group. You can see this list here. This is the groups that we added before in the external identity source, and now we can select them here. Okay, then I can say here what is the condition? When a user is in the external group and it's in the available in the IT group, use this. What it should do that, then when this condition match, you just trigger the authorization IT, and this authorization IT has access list, and that access list will be downloaded inside the end user PC. Okay, let's save that. Now we have created that, and this time if I try to connect, let's do that. Let's go to our PC and try to connect the Jake, but remember that Jake is not in the IT group. Let's try that. Let's try again. Okay, you see that the login is failed again, and this time is let's check it inside the live log, and here you can see again that it's failed because it's actually it's matched inside the remote access authentication policy, and it's just triggered to the default because it is not actually matching to this condition. The Jake is not in this group. Because of that, it just pass this and go to the default, and default is deny access, and it doesn't let him to connect to the corporate network. Now let's change the name to Sarah, the password. This time you can see that the connection is established, and it's connected. Now let's go to the live log and check. And let me refresh that. Here you can see that the Sarah is connected, the identity comes here, and now it's in the remote access authentication policy, and also it's matched to the policy set IT, and it is using the authorization IT. All this information that help us to know that this user is belong to which group, and easily we can troubleshoot that if it's match in this group or not. If there is any problem and this information is not correct here, the user should be moved from one group to another group in the Active Directory, and so on, to solve this problem. Now the Sarah actually is connected to the corporate network, and as it is IT, of course she has access to everything inside the corporate network. Okay, but this time let's create another one. For example, for let me see, for example, Jake is a member of HR, and HR needs to access, for example, HR needs to access this database, and also it needs access to a HTTP server here. That let's assume that we have a HTTP server here hosted inside the Active Directory, and we are going to access that, but nothing else, just the HTTP server port 80. And before I actually install the IIS here inside the Active Directory, and now if I give access to Jake, it should be able to access that port 80. Before that, let me show you something. Let's use remote desktop. Remote desktop connection. Now the Sarah is connected and she is IT, and she should be able to access the Active Directory using the remote desktop. Let's check if she can. 10.10 and 2.21 connect. Okay, you can see that she's able to access the remote access of the Active Directory windows. Let's use for example, this and password. Let's try that. You can see that the request comes from this server, and it's just trying to let us to access to the remote desktop here. Yes, the remote desktop come, but the username and password is not correct. That's okay. Let's now go and try to create another one for Jake. And Jake is working, as I said, in the HR, and it needs access to this database server and also to port 80 of Active Directory. Let's do that. Let's create another. First of all, let's create another downloadable access list here, step by step. This one is ACL HR. And the ACL HR, let's permit IP any to host 10.10.6.100, and that is this DB server. Let me check if it has IP address or not. IP 10.10.6.100 255.255.0 and 10.10.6.1 as a gateway. Okay, now this server has IP address. Okay, permit IP any to this host. Please note that I just write it host. It means it doesn't need any subnet mask because we already said that this is a host. And let's permit TCP any to host 10.10.2.21, and this time is equal to 80. You can see that this equal 80 means that the port number 80, this IP address, and that is the domain controller, it's a host, and I'm going to permit TCP to that. When you use TCP or UDP, in this case you need to actually identify your port. If you don't write any port here, the syntax will be error and it will give you error here. If I remove that, you can see we need to actually identify the port here. Okay, it doesn't let's say that this is error, but we need to write the port here, port 80, and anything else we are going to do that. Let's permit IP any to 10.10.1.0 with 255.255.255.0. This one is as you know, it's the main gateway, I can say, because all the user actually takes the IP address from this, and it will be good to be permitted for every user. Okay, let's save that. And now let's create a authorization profile, add, and name it authorization HR. And here in the downloadable accessless, let's select the HR here. Okay, it's by default selected, and let's submit this. Okay, this part is done, and now let's go here and create another authorization policy. Please note that I'm just doing everything in this remote access policy set because actually if I come here, let me do that. Here you can create many different, but every time you need to match your device in that one, and that is it's from top down. If I match this device here and when someone is trying to connect that one, maybe it's only have one rule. For example, just Jake is in that one, then it will match on that device, and Sarah and Bob is not in that authorization, then both of them will be denied. Because of that, we just need to make sure that when we match a device here, every user in the Active Directory should be added in the same policy set. Okay, let's go there, and authorization, let's create one and name it policy set, for example, HR. And here I'm going to select the HR authorization. Let's save this. Okay, it cannot save that. It's not properly configured. What's the problem? Okay, we need to give the condition here. The condition is again same, the external identity group, and also here if the user is in the HR group. Use it, and now save it. Okay, successfully saved, and now let's try that. Let's go to our PC, and okay, let it be here. We will attach that later. Now let's disconnect this and try to connect with the user Jake. Okay, this time you can see that the connection is established and the user is connected to the ISE server. And here if I check, let me refresh this page, you can see that this time Jake is identity Jake is allowed, and it's using the remote access and the policy set HR, and it's using the authentication HR. Okay, let's get back and in the user and check what access actually we have. According to our configuration, we should have access to ping 10.10.1.1. Okay, we can ping that, but we should not be able to ping 10.10.2.1. You can see that we are not able to ping that, and also we should be able to ping 10.10.6.1, not 100, because we just give it the exact host, and we are not able to ping this gateway because this gateway is not allowed. Only the host is allowed here. And the next one, let's ping 10.10.2.21. This is the Active Directory, but we cannot ping that because we only allowed port 80. And to check that, let's go to the browser and try to browse port 80 in this active in the server. That is 10.10.2.21 and port 80. Yes, you can see that we can easily access the first page of the IIS server, and it means that we are allowed to access port 80, but you can see that we are not allowed to ping it. And also if we try to remote access, we should not be able to access that remotely also. you can see that the remote access doesn't work and it's trying to connect, but it doesn't receive any access. And of course, after a few minutes, maybe it's just failure. You can see that it cannot connect it because this host it's not available or something, because now the ISE doesn't let him to access this because of that access list. Okay, and the last one is user Bob. The procedure is same. Again, you can go to the downloadable access list and here create the access list here, ACL Finance. And in the ACL Finance, let's permit IP any, for example, to let's give a to the network, for example 10.10.5.0 with 255.255.255.0. now this this user full access to this network 5, and also let's permit IP any to 10.10.1.0 with 255.255.255.0. This is the IP address of it's a range that the user is going to access this. And anything else, let's something else. Let's give access to ISE server. Yep, why not? Permit. Just we are testing, of course. The finance doesn't need to access the ISE server, but now we are just going to say, test this to any two host 10.10.2.25, and we are not going to give the permit IP. We are going to permit TCP, and here and the ISE is using the HTTPS. And let's use the HTTPS port equal to HTTP port. It's 443, and let's save that. Of course, we can check the syntax. It's okay. If it was wrong, that then of course it will give us a message. Now let's go to the authorization profile and add another one and name that authorization finance. And here the downloadable access list, of course it will by default I don't know, it's very smart and just find this and add that. Let's submit. Okay, now let's get back here, and in the authorization policy let's create another one, and that is name it policy set, for example, finance. And here again let's match the condition. If the user external identity source, and that is belong to this group, the group finance, then you just use this authentication finance for that. Let's save it. Okay, this time now if we connect the username Bob, let's disconnect this. And try to connect it with the username Bob. Connect anyway, and this time is Bob and password. Okay. Now this connection is established, and if I try, for example, to ping 10.10.1.1, of course I can ping it. If I try to ping 10.10.5.100, I'm not sure if this server here has IP address. Let's set IP address for him. IP 10.10.5.100. 5.100 with 255.255.255.0 10.10.5.1 as a gateway. Okay, now the user should be able to ping it. You can see that I can ping this one, and also I can ping the gateway, because this time I just give a all network. And if I try to ping 10.10.2.25, the ISE server, I'm not able to ping that because it doesn't have access for ping, but I have access for HTTPS here. And if I type the IP address here, 10.10.2.25, and this is HTTPS. Let me write it here, HTTPS. I should be able to access the interface of ISE, yes, and you can see just it gives access to Bob to access this. And now you can see that we can filter by the port number also. And let me do something. Let me just, this is the last one, and now let's assume that we need to change something here, and we need to give access to finance to Bob to in the access list. Let's change that. For example, Bob's need to doesn't need to access the HTTPS server, but it's need to ping the ISE server. Let's give him access to ICMP any to 10.10.2.25 and to this host. Let me speak about this. This ICMP actually it's a protocol. It's not a ping. It's a ICMP is a protocol. It's not a port number to, for example, use TCP and then identify a port number. It's ICMP. And but with the port, with the TCP and UDP, you need to identify the port at the end with the keyword of equal. Okay, let's save this. Now let's get back here, but let's close this and try to ping this 2.25. We are not able to do that, and it's a good actually example because we need to disconnect the network. Okay, let's connect that. And here let's type the password. Okay, we are connected, and now we should be able to ping 10.10.2.25. Yes, we can ping that, but if I try to ping 21, it's not possible, and because it doesn't have access to ping the Active Directory. Okay, I believe I speak a lot and our video is become too long. It's 45 minutes almost, and this is our lab, and you can practice this, and if you have any question, please ask me in the comment. I will be more than happy to answer your question, and let's in the next videos we will play with this lab more. We have a very good lab here, and it takes a long time to create that and configure that. We may use some other object in this lab and learn about it. Okay, let's finish our video, and please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and also please recommend that channel to your friend and your family. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.